Welcome back to K-Drama Cycle, where we uncover the untold stories behind your favorite stars. Today's story is one of quiet strength, courage, and love that refuses to crumble under pressure. This is Under Fire but Unbroken, Kim Yoo Jung's decision that silenced the critics and saved their peace. 4 months, whispers have surrounded Park Bo-gum and Kim Yoo Jung. What started as admiration for their chemistry slowly turned into relentless speculation. The world loved their bond, too much, perhaps, and before long, their friendship and rumored love became a public battlefield. But behind the headlines, there was a much deeper story, one of protection, pain, and a choice that changed everything. When news first broke about their growing closeness, both Park Bo-gum and Kim Yoo Jung chose silence. They didn't confirm, they didn't deny. They simply smiled through interviews, focusing on their projects. Yet the silence only fueled curiosity. Every glance, every post, every interview became a clue to fans and critics alike. The pressure built quietly but steadily. Bo-gum, who's always been known for his humility and soft-spoken charm, found himself torn between protecting his personal life and maintaining the image his agency had carefully crafted. Kim Yoo Jung, on the other hand, felt the weight of it differently, as a woman in an industry where every move can be misinterpreted. It reached a breaking point when online forums began turning their affection into accusations. Some called it unprofessional, others unfairly questioned her motives. The noise grew louder until Kim Yoo Jung made a decision no one saw coming. She took the step that Park Bo-gum couldn't. Instead of hiding, she faced the public head-on. In a quiet interview, she didn't name names, but her words carried meaning deeper than any confirmation could. Sometimes, protecting someone you care about means standing in the storm yourself. Silence isn't always weakness. Sometimes it's the purest form of love. That one sentence changed everything. Fans instantly understood. The interview went viral, and while she never mentioned Bo-gum directly, her tone said more than enough. Behind the scenes, sources close to the two revealed that Bo-gum had begged her not to speak up, afraid that her words might reignite the controversy. But Yoo Jung reportedly told him, "If I stay silent now, they'll keep coming after you. Let them talk about me instead." That moment marked a quiet act of courage, one that showed not just love, but loyalty. Bo-gum, touched by her strength, couldn't hold back his emotions for long. At his next public event, when asked how he was dealing with rumors, he smiled gently and said, "I've learned that peace is not the absence of noise, but the presence of understanding." Fans immediately connected his response to Yoo Jung's earlier statement. Over time, something beautiful happened. The attack slowed. The tone online softened. Instead of scandal, people began to talk about their resilience, their maturity. What was once tabloid fodder became a story of two people learning to protect love in a world that often tears it apart. Kim Yoo Jung, who had once been criticized for staying too quiet, was now praised for her poise and strength. Her bold step didn't just silence critics, it earned her newfound respect from both fans and industry peers. One close friend revealed that Yoo Jung told her, "We can't control the noise, but we can choose how we respond to it. I'd rather be misunderstood for speaking my truth than watched for living a lie." Meanwhile, Park Bo-gum began to open up more in his interviews about personal growth. Though he carefully avoided details, he admitted that someone had taught him the importance of inner peace. "Sometimes," he said, "we find calm not by escaping the storm, but by learning who stands beside us through it." Those who knew their history saw it for what it was, an acknowledgement of Kim Yoo Jung's unwavering support. As months passed, both stars focused on their craft again. Yoo Jung dove into new projects, balancing her image with maturity and grace. Bo-gum continued to inspire with his sincerity and quiet strength. But those who followed them closely noticed their energy, their smiles, seemed different. Softer, more at ease. Insiders say they've learned how to live quietly, away from the constant glare of public attention. They don't need to post or prove anything. They've found balance, and that, in itself, is a victory. In one of her recent fan interactions, Yoo Jung left everyone emotional when she said, "The most peaceful love is the one that doesn't have to prove itself every day. It just exists, strong, silent, and true." Fans flooded the comments, saying it reminded them of Bo-gum. One even wrote, "She didn't say his name, but she didn't have to. We already know." And maybe that's the beauty of it all. Kim Yoo Jung's decision didn't just silence critics, it redefined what strength looks like in love. Not through defiance, not through arguments, but through quiet conviction. As for Park Bo-gum, his latest public post read simply, "Some people bring you peace just by being who they are." The world may speculate, but their story now lives beyond public approval, in quiet moments, in mutual respect, in the kind of love that doesn't need validation. Under fire, but unbroken. That's Kim Yoo Jung, and that's the love she chose to protect. After Kim Yoo Jung's quiet but powerful statement, the industry watched her every move, not out of gossip, but out of growing respect. For the first time, even the harshest critics found themselves silenced. What was meant to be a controversy slowly transformed into a story of dignity and devotion. Behind the calm headlines and the carefully chosen words, however, there was still a lot happening in private. Those close to Park Bo-gum and Yoo Jung revealed that her public act of courage brought them even closer. Away from the cameras, they leaned on each other more than ever. Bo-gum, who had always been known for protecting those around him, now found himself being protected. Yoo Jung had taken the spotlight off him when things got rough, and that meant more to him than she could ever imagine. One of Bo-gum's friends later shared that he told them, "She didn't just defend me, she defended what we had built quietly all these years." For a while, both stars stepped away from the noise. They avoided public events together, stayed off social media for personal matters, and focused on their work. Yet even in that distance, their connection showed in small, meaningful ways, the kind fans always noticed. When Bo-gum released his charity project in Busan, Yoo Jung quietly donated under an alias. When Yoo Jung launched her foundation to support young women in acting, Bo-gum's company sent flowers with a card signed only, "From someone proud of you." It wasn't about public acknowledgement anymore. It was about mutual respect and love expressed in silence. Months passed, and the storm that once surrounded them turned into admiration. Articles that once speculated about their relationship began praising their maturity. The media even described them as two of the few stars who prove that silence can be stronger than scandal. Still, the unspoken bond between them continued to grow. During an award show where both were invited, fans noticed something subtle. As Yoo Jung walked onto the stage to present, the camera caught Bo-gum standing backstage, watching quietly with a soft smile. He didn't speak to reporters, but when asked about the ceremony later, he said, "It was inspiring. Some people just glow differently." And when Yoo Jung accepted her award that night, she said something that struck a chord across the internet. "To those who stood by me when words were heavy, thank you for seeing my heart instead of my silence." The crowd erupted in applause, and even though she didn't name him, the world seemed to know exactly who she meant. Privately, Bo-gum and Yoo Jung continued to communicate through quiet moments. Sources close to them shared that they had a routine, handwritten letters. Bo-gum, known for his thoughtful nature, often sent her notes while filming abroad. Yoo Jung, who cherished sincerity, replied with poems or sketches. Their words didn't need to be grand, they were honest, and that was enough. As time went on, the pressure to explain their relationship faded. What remained was mutual peace, a rare thing in an industry built on rumors. But the story didn't end there. After nearly a year of quiet, both stars were cast in different but equally emotional projects. Coincidentally, both stories revolved around themes of love, endurance, and finding light after hardship. Fans couldn't help but feel it was life imitating art. During one press conference, a reporter asked Bo-gum what drew him to his new role. He replied, "The idea that love can survive even in silence." And that single sentence sent the internet into a frenzy again. Yoo Jung, when asked about her perspective on the same topic, said, "Sometimes, love doesn't need to be spoken loudly to be real. The quiet kind stays the longest." They were speaking about their characters, or maybe, just maybe, about each other. Months later, the two appeared in the same public event again, a charity gala in Seoul. It wasn't planned, but when photographers caught them greeting each other with a warm, knowing smile, the internet erupted once more. But this time, it wasn't with speculation, it was with respect. Comments flooded social media. "They've been through so much, and yet their bond still feels pure. This is what maturity in love looks like." Kim Yoo Jung's strength and Park Bo-gum's loyalty, a story worth remembering. In an industry obsessed with drama, they had chosen grace. In a world that demands explanation, they had chosen quiet understanding. By the end of that night, one clip went viral, Bogum offering his hand to help Yoo Jung down the stage stairs. Simple, genuine, protective. And as she smiled and thanked him, you could almost feel the story they never needed to tell. Later, Yoo Jung posted a photo from the event with the caption, "Peace is the loudest victory." Fans filled the comments with one phrase over and over again, "Under fire but unbroken." The same words that had defined her once now defined them both. Their silence had become their language. Their restraint had become their strength. And their story, once clouded by noise, had turned into a lesson about grace, courage, and the kind of love that survives not because it's easy, but because it's true. This has been K-Drama Cycle, reminding you that sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones whispered, not shouted. Stay tuned for more stories of resilience, love, and the human heart that never gives up.